Come see this in 1545, Austrians and Pro-Natalism, Iranian Intel, Keeping Games Alive. This is a series where I summarize rantatonne posts made up of at least 3 things I've seen, read, or heard. First question, why are some MAGA and Euro politerati pro-natalist? This section features a Radio Rothbard podcast of an Austrian economics analysis of the claims by the current kind of thing that's going out there of pro-natalism, which I think is a positive thing because it ends up with kids being born, but it's kind of also a reaction to all the nihilism going out. But some of the things that both the people who are adherents of this were saying other people should follow, they're basing it on faulty actual basics. And in this one, they're talking about the economics aspect of it, of some people, like Elon Musk is one of the people who would say, oh, we need more kids in order to have a more successful economy. And then you have the Euro politerati saying like, oh, we need to let immigrants come in because our local population not having kids, and we need all these people to actually do jobs and produce the base for like our social welfare system. But this is usual when you talk about situations where the state has mutated something. This is a bit of a cart before the chicken kind of situation, where in actuality, a freer market economy encourages human flourishing, and when humans are flourishing, they're more productive, which includes producing children. And now from people being misinformed due to what the state does about certain things to what the state would call malinformation. Do peeps believe hearing X is tantamount to believing X? I don't think so. When it comes to situations like the 2 Tucker Carlson interviews that are highlighted in this section, one with Scott Horton talking about the decades-long history that led to the 12-Day War, and Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian giving his post-12-Day War thoughts. Statists would not want you hearing from these people about the things they talk about in the context that they put it in, not because they can actually disprove the actual historical things that Scott Horton puts out. Not because we're not going to be able to tell like the Iranian president is going to have a script for him to actually say on the political stage as a political actor. So we're not thinking everything he says is 100% gospel. It's because they understand that hearing from person A about thing B in context C will prevent them from suspending your disbelief in whatever narrative they spin for you. Speaking of narratives, I'm going to continue my storytelling thing with an alternate story from yesterday's little thing about Epstein and whatnot. And this is, of course, if I'm not just hallucinating, and Epstein was really just like a nihilist, and he was like a true believer nihilist after he got arrested and just self-deleted. What was revealed that the United States of America actually created Israel as an unofficial 51st state. It wasn't something created with the best interests of the Jewish people that just has devolved into a welfare queen, but rather it was a plan from the warfare side of the state to engage in machinations in the Middle East. This would include something like the coup d'etat in 1953, where MI6 and CIA used Israeli assets to overthrow the government and install the Shah. But like anyone would in this kind of power dynamic, even without the history of the Jewish people that they've experienced, they decide they want more power, they want more independence. So Mossad grows, they get their nukes, and then they start getting their own compromat material and other people, like using this Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell co-op they had going on with the CIA. If this gets exposed, who gets it worse? Epstein? Is Epstein responsible for this? Is it Mossad? Israel? No. It's the deep state in the United States of America and the intelligence agencies, so they're just protecting themselves with this whole no client list thing. But then we've seen a lot of people just following along what Trump and his administration are saying, or they're doing their best to rationalize it and defend him, just like in this last section of why copyright what you aren't using, where pirate software is caping for gaming companies and misconstruing very reasonable asks by the Stop Killing Games movement.